Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to our second series of the broadcast. Welcome back to the round of 16 of the WardiTV Monday number 52. We just wrapped up with Rogue versus Ducklings, and now we're going to be following Rogue into the round of 16 up against another European Protoss opponent. Let's go. Let's jump in. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Red Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the green Protoss player. We have the green Protoss. We have the Polish Protoss himself, representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our ZvP. Coming into this, Rogue is still the favorite player of these matches. That is true. But Gerald, he will be posing a greater threat. So Gerald is straight up one of the best Protoss players in all of Europe. And Gerald, we have seen him take it to players the caliber of Rogue before and bring them down in the past as well. But what I will say is that typically we've seen that in some of the other matchups, right? We've seen Gerald pop off in PvT. Right, we've seen him pop off against some big Terran players like Cure, like Bjorn in the past. We'll see if Gerald can take it to Rogue though in a PvZ instead. No boy. Gonna rare matchup to behold. Almost never before seen. As the Gerald does go Gate Expand. Gate Expand out of Gerald. Likewise, Rogue just going Hatch Gas Bull, standard opener out of our Korean Zerg player. So the openers looking relatively standard. There they are. From here, Pylon gets thrown down, looking like a Stargate based opener out of Gerald. Now, when it comes to Gerald's play, I mean, typically in this matchup, he is very, I should say, gateway heavy, getting into Storm, of course. We have seen him mess around a little bit with these earlier Temple Archives and earlier Robo timings into Archon drop-based openers, but again, we should be kind of, in general, the meta has been veering away from that. That was all the craze near the start of the year, but we've been veering away into more standard play as that style was kind of played out. Did fall out of favor as Zerg players got better and better at shutting it down. Here, Rogue pulls out of gas, getting his third base. This time his third is on time. If you recall, last game when we casted Rogue in game 2 versus Ducklings, we did point out that Rogue was staying on 2 bases suspiciously for a very long time, and it led into 2 base Lair, into 2 base Muta. Here, we're not mining extra gas, and here we take a third base on time. So Rogue is going for a standard follow-up. From here, the next thing we're looking for is, are we going for an early Evo Chamber? Are we going for an early Roach Warren? What tech are we going to be investing into early on? Will give us an idea of how Rogue wants to play this out, getting into the mid-game. Likewise, Gerald, we're just expecting him to go Stargate into a third base. Rogue does invest into 14 Lings. With this, he can try to threaten the third. So Lings are moving out. Wall is open. Ooh, yeah, the wall is open. Lings, they get a probe kill. Players slip into the base. They'll get a free scouts. Oh, as they don't quite go into the main, they go for another probe, but they will get one. 2 probe kills, not bad. 2 probes do fall. Link scout is denied. Oracle to place in the main base, and Rogue is going for that third. Going for the expansion. Remember, 14 Lings. Does get nice around. There's one left to defend. The Oracle's out of position, which means we're going to force a cancel. Yeah, the base is going to be denied. Yeah, brutal pig up here. There it is. There's a cancellation. That should not have happened. Now going for the pylon. And we'll get it. Pylon goes down. And Rogue has a very comfortable start. Cancels the third, it gets 2 probe kills, kills a pylon, just slips into the bases, and gets eyes on the Twilight Council alongside Forge. The Forge is indicative that this should not be Glaives, so nice scout out of Rogue. Early Blink is going to be an earlier timing available here to Geralt, but again, that lack of third base is brutal. As Rogue is getting a safety Roach Warren, a +1 melee is on the way. So he may just skip Roaches and just go straight Ling Hydra. He has the option to do so. Rogues just in case he needs them. And from here, Rogue is just chilling. Rogue just droning, saturating, getting another base, getting a 4th expansion. From here, just building up. Now, Geralds will have that early blink timing available to break the 4th, and usually that's what I would be looking for, but because Gerald's 3rd base is so delayed, that does mean that Warpin is going to be affected. That does mean, or that does weaken the overall blink timing of Gerald. He's taking up. Headed towards Storm. He's active once again. We'll see if he can lure the army out. See if we can lure him. From here, Adepts, they do push, but there are links out on the map already. Bailey's not quite done yet. Oh, we're going for a hidden Bailey nest. Okay. Bailey speed is on the way, Hydrogen as well. So, as we mentioned before, the Roach Warren was just for safety. Just a safety Roach Warren. He is skipping out of Roaches. Lings get a full surround. They take down every single Adept. Roki maintains map control. And Gerald, he has some catching up to do. Rogue double expanding, getting a 4th base, and going for the gold. Very greedy here out of Rogue. Very greedy. From here, we do see Rogue just massing up his army. He's already drawn up to 83. Again, because of the earlier economic damage, I mean, Rogue, he's just been very comfortable. Gerald has dealt no damage across the map. They roll in. You roll in, they take down High Templar, 7 probes as well. Very nice. And here he comes. Rogue, he's maxed out, he has the gold bases, he's pushing out with purely Ling. I mean, I say he's maxed out, he's looking to max out, he's done droning at least, so he's focusing purely on Ling Bane Hydra production. Rogue has a lot of momentum, he has not really been slowed down much at all, and Gerald, he's in danger here, he's in trouble. Now, Gerald, he does have Storm, true. If he can land the most perfect Storms, then Gerald, he can survive this, and he can just try to turtle. He can just try to turtle up on 4 bases, and build up and try to max out. But it's just all about defending here. This first Storm, Stage Trap saves the Banelings. A little bit unfortunate. So the main army gets saved. Hydras moving in. Storms are still grazing the Hydras though, but that was the final Storm. Yeah, the final Storm. Only Blink Stalkers remaining. Banelings are rolling in. Hydras pushing forward, wasting a little bit of DPS here on the buildings. They crash into the mineral line. It's going to be 20 probes going down. At the same time, we do have a Zealot counterattack, but Lings, they will defend. Lings, they catch the Zealots. Down to a handful of Stalkers. Zealots are dealt with. And Roki has done it. Roki has done it. He has broken the main army. As Gerald, he has also the High Templar, lost the mineral line. And Rogue can just rally at this point. Rogue can just rally in. Just waiting for his Hydra reinforcements. Back at home, he did lose some drones, that is true, but for the most part, I mean, his saturation is still solid. Getting 10 more workers, getting another expansion. And from here, he's just going to keep pushing in. Oh, Phases goes off. Storm and Hydras. 12 probes going down. Lings, they get into the mineral line. So we get in once again. Bane's a crashing fire Templar. There's still one Templar remaining. There's going to be one Storm. Let's go. As the Natural's also been compromising, they bust into the mineral line. They get into the Natural. There's the one Storm, the only Storm. Wasn't bad. But again, there's just no army remaining. GG gets called, and Rogue, he will take a lead in the series. He will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Rogue, he does take a lead. And again, Rogue was just very comfortable this game, winding it back. Remember what happened? Rogue, he was able to force a cancel on the third base. It was brutal. He got into 14 Zerglings. His initial wave of Lings were able to get into the bases and distract Gerald, while the 14 Lings hit the third base. With that, he was able to force a cancel. With that, he was able to slow down Gerald so much, gain, maintain map control, surround the Adepts, and from there, Rogue was able to freely drone up to 83. He droned up all the way to 83 without really losing anything. The oracles were deflected. He double expanded, went for the goal base. It was 83 drones plus the goal base as well. Just hyper greed out of Rogue after he had dealt that damage, of course. Just very greedy play there out of Rogue. After he had gained map control, after he had contained Geralt, and from there, GG. From there, GG well played. From there, he just snowballed out of control, and now we're getting into game 2, and we'll see if Geralt can recover, bounce back, as game 2 is going to be on Maganatha. Here we go. So we're getting ready for that second game. Meanwhile, we already have an opponent waiting for us in the next round, so the winner of this... the winner of this series is going to be facing off against Classic in the next round, as Classic has already taken down Nightmare 2-0. Oh boy. So we are working our way through the brackets into the quarterfinals. Go. As we are loading in. Again, game 2 is on Maganatha. Likewise, looks like the entirety of the first round has concluded. Round of 32, all wrapped up. We'll go through those updates momentarily. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Maganatha, we have our South Korean Zerg player. We have the Red Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Green Protoss player, the Green Protoss himself, the Polish Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. So we are moving out. We're settling in. Here we're going to be loading into a much larger map in the map pool. We'll see if Geralt can stabilize here and can actually get into his mid game. As a reminder, Geralt, he fell behind early last game because of the denial in the third. Geralt had a really hard time getting into the mid game, and he fell behind, and he couldn't quite recover. And we'll see if Geralt can actually get into his own game this time, embrace his builds, and gain some momentum. Go. And so now Rogue, he's just going for his own hatch gas pool, standard opener out of Rogue. Forsake the unnatural natural. Outside of that, nothing too crazy. Let's go, just being as annoying as possible. It does force some inefficient mining. Outside of that, we should be seeing the Stargates. Again, don't know if Geralt really wants to deviate too much here. I mentioned earlier that Geralt, there was a time earlier this year where he was going for a lot of these Archon drop-based openers. But again, it's been a while. It's been like a couple of months. Step rope. As Gerald pulls away. And we have our Stargate. There it is, Stargate opener back at home. Does go for the Stargate with this, getting into an Oracle, getting to a third base as well. Everything so far is looking as it should be. Everything's looking standard from Gerald. Nothing crazy. Likewise, Rogue, we should be seeing a third base momentarily. There we go, third base is on the way. Getting to his third base, droning, soon pulling into gases. Welcome to Magnatha. Magnatha is a larger map than Apple. Now, because this map is so large, this is where something like Mutaplay would be more viable. Hey, I mean, we just saw Mutas earlier against Ledlix on this map. True. So Mutaplay is going to be an option here for Rogue. But honestly, there's no reason to deviate. Oh, was he a supply blocked? Okay, nice pickup. Rogue, he does get supply blocked. We'll wait and see how he spends his gas. Let's see where he takes us. Do we go Lingbane Hydra again? Or do we dip our toes into Mutas? Gerald taking his third. Twilight Council gets thrown down. This is an early Twilight Council. Okay, Gerald, you have my attention. So early Council, late Forge. If you remember last game, we also saw the attempted early council and the attempted Blinkstalker play, so this could be early Blink out of Geralt into Blinkstalker aggression to try to break down the fourth base, or this could be Glaive Adepts. Gateways are being thrown down. I don't see a Forge yet. If we see a Forge soon, then this should be for Blink. If not, then Glaives are on the forefront of my mind. Show us that upgrade. Huh. Still waiting for the gas. There it is, Glaive Adepts on the way. So we have 4 Gate Glaives as a follow-up here. Very aggressive, very dedicated here by Geralt, and this needs to get damage done. It's not all in by any means, but if this fails to trade well, then he will have late Blink and late Forge and late upgrades. So a cheeky move here by Geralt. See what he can get done. Lings, they do attempt to surround. They go for the shield battery. Oh, bit of miscontrol there as Rogue does target his own Zergling. A bit of miscontrol out of Rogue. Geralt does hold. Behind this +1 melee on the way, and this time I don't see a safety Roach Warren. Remember last game we saw the safety Roach Warren in between the bases. Here there is no Roach Warren. It's going to be purely Lingbane, which means it's going to be more difficult to deal with Glaive Adepts. Not saying it's impossible. Banelings will help, but Banelings need to connect. 4 Adepts are revealed. That's not a tell. Not yet. Adepts, they did just shade past. Lings, they poke in. They have yet to really catch wind of what's going on. And we're still waiting for another warp in. Geralt, he's banking up a lot of money, a lot of resources. Where's the warp in? We have one available. Geralt's up to... Oh no, he's supply... Oh no! Oh, I was like, what's happening? Like, we had a really delayed warp in, and it's because we're supply blocked. 2 pylons get thrown down, and he is missing his timing. You can see he's trying to spend his money. He has almost 1,000 minerals. Oh no. That's a shame. So Gerald, he will miss his Glaive Adept timing. He has to expand. He throws down a gateway explosion. He fails to warp. He's not able to warp in. Oracles are being thrown down, or being thrown away even. And Rogue, he's looking good. He's looking very comfortable. That was a really unfortunate supply block. It was an unfortunate supply block. It was just a late realization as well. Late realization. The slow Baileys are waddling in. The boys are pulled away in time. Boys are pulled away. Oh, he's still going. Oh no, he goes in. The Baileys, they crash into the mineral line, and they won't get any major connections. They do deny a lot of mining. 1 Bailing does pop off, and down goes the third. Down goes the third base, and just everything's falling apart here. At least Gerald saved the mineral line. He saved most of his pros, but he will lose the base. At the same time, Adepts are popping up. True. They are popping up from the mineral lines. They're doing what they can. I mean, hey, they glaive it ups. But this is a brutal position for Gerald. Now, what I will say is that the tech here from Rogue is actually quite late. This lair, this is a what? We're 7:20 minutes in, so 7 minutes in, still no lair. So Rogue's own tech is also delayed. True. And then Gerald is on 3 bases. Gerald, he's holding his own. It's been a shaky game for Gerald for sure, but he can stabilize. He can stabilize, he can slow things down. Again, Rogue, he was also tunnel visioning. And it was a big investment into those banelings. He killed the base, but the banelings ideally wanted to kill some probes, some workers. So Gerald, he's still in this. Gerald, he's still in this. This build is already kind of bad, honestly. What do you... Zan just beat Raider in RSL with it. What are you talking about? What do you mean? Multiple times, actually, because he went for the same build multiple times in a row. Copium. But again, Roki's very much so in this. It was a really rough start because of supply block, but again, because of Rogue's lack of teching, Gerald, he's going to be able to stabilize. Right now, we're still waiting for splash damage, though. Whether it's Colossus, whether it's Storm, we do need something here for Gerald. As the Depsay harass across the map. Depsay pop up. Catch out a couple of queens. Oh, they do get surrounded, though. Yeah, no shade. That was a big investment. That was a big investment there with those adepts. As Gerald, he's just turtling up as hard as he can. Lings, they shouldn't get any damage here. So again, Gerald, he is stabilizing on 4 bases, but we do need some splash damage here. Give us something. It's going double forge. Meanwhile, Rogue rushing into the hive. Interesting. So, a couple of things here. Do you see what I see? I see a hive that's almost done. I see no Hydroden. Typically, I would assume this is Ling, Bane, Hydra into Ling, Bane, Hydra, Viper even, but there's no Hydroden, so is this going to be Ling, Bane into Ultra? Looks to be the case. Ling Bane Ultra is something that we do see from time to time against Protoss. Dark was renowned for this kind of style for a long time. So this is something that we typically see exclusively from players like Dark, players like Rogue. Less so from players like Reina or Shin or Solar. Assuming he goes for the Ultra Cavern, we'll see. Nice borrow. Saves the drones. We have +3 melee, Adrenal. Rogue has no gas. Rogue has a very low gas count here with only 5 gases, so he can't quite afford any further tech. Yeah, there we go. Extra gases are being taken. Takes the gas here at the 4th base. Takes extra gases at the here towards the northern base as well. So again, late gases for Rogue. But hey, there's no splash damage, so it's okay. There's no storms, there's no Colossus or Lings. They can persist. And Lings, they break in. They break into the main base. Temple Archives finally done. There's that Ultra Cavern that we spoke about. Again, Ling Bane Ultra, something that we have seen in the past. Rogue bringing it back. But we'll see if we can actually get there. Can we get there? As things are brought in the main, we have Bailey's crashing in towards the 3rd, sorry, towards the 4th. Nice splits. Oh no, they stacked too soon. Never mind. Bailey's remove commands. That could have been disastrous. 8 probe kills. Acceptable losses for Gerald. As is that revelation. And Storm is being chronoed. Again, Storm is so delayed. This is also, unfortunately, Gerald's, during the defense, he could have started Storm earlier in the Templar Archives earlier as well, but was otherwise, looks like a little bit flustered. Has been missing warpins. Oh, and Lings, they get in. Yeah, Lings, they get in. They achieve what the Banelings could not. They get 24 probe kills. Ultra Cabinet is done. And the Ultras are coming. Rogue just needs gas. He just needs gas, and you can see he's still a little bit undersaturated. We have a gas geyser empty here. Just has to get into his gas income, then can start making those Ultras. There's a reason why adept builds aren't very popular at the moment. It sounds like someone hasn't been watching StarCraft. What do you mean? As I mentioned. Sounds like you haven't been watching RSL. Is it standard? No. But do we see it quite often? Yes. Okay, that's how Hero took games off of Serral last week as well. True. True. As easy to push around. And we do see the attempted turtle into Sky Toss. So we have the Fleet Beacon on the way, working towards Tempest. But again, Rogue is maxed. And Rogue, he should be able to break Gerald before we get into Sky Toss. Like that should be the case here. As that's a massive army. He's got his Ling Bane, he's got his Ultras. Here rolling in. Nice Storm. Storms are good, but there's no more support. The Templars are exposed. Yeah, Templar exposed. Storm with the Banelings. Ooh, as Banelings, they crash into Archons. Not the best connections here from Rogue. Storm Zone away. The base will fall, but again, this is a very inefficient fight from Rogue. As Rogue bleeds out the entire army. The Ultras go down. The Ling Bane goes down. Cleans this up. Gerald, he's trading well, but he can't afford these losses is the problem. He will lose the base, he will lose a mineral line. Can Gerald weather the storm? Can he turtle up until he maxes out? That's the hope. As Roki backs off, he's remaxing with more Ling Bane Ultra with the second wave. And as you can see, this time Gerald, he just can't saturate. He just cannot saturate his base. He lost so many workers earlier. Gerald, he has been weakened from the previous push. Oh no, and the Lings get in. The Lings, they do get in. Hero! Lings, they bust into the main, they bust into the natural. Yeah, Lings in every expansion. Going for the fourth, the third, the main base, and the natural as well. Everything's flashing red. And Gerald, he just can't keep up, as he will still lose the third expansion, the third and the fourth base. With that, 2 bases go down. And Rogue is already remaxed. Like, as you mentioned, like, that's the goal here. Rogue just has to rebuild, remax, and just keep hammering away at Gerald. He's just kind of brute forcing it. And Gerald is all in. This is the final push. The final push, the final army. He's got 1 Templar. Gets a decent Storm. But again, only the 1 Templar. Ling Bane crashes in, and Rogue, he will clean up. He will clean up the final army. GG gets called, and Rogue, he will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the next round. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, Rogue. He will claim the series. He will take the 2-0. Unfortunate game here from Gerald. Game 1 was more chaotic. It was a little bit more understandable. But here in Game 2, Gerald, it looks like a little bit flustered maybe after the first game, or maybe just a little bit flustered in general against Rogue. Getting supply blocked and missing his early timing was brutal. Gerald, he fell behind as a result. There was potential. Remember, Rogue, he decided to skip roaches. If you decide to skip roaches when you're up against Glaive Adepts in such a way, like, there is potential for damage. Gerald, he could have popped off, but he couldn't warp anything in. He just couldn't warp in. He was supply blocked at 85. It was a brutal supply block, so he missed his timing. He was banking up a lot of resources because he was trying to warp in, but he couldn't. So more time was advancing on, more time was progressing. Late storm as well. It was just a really shaky follow-up there from Gerald. Shakier than we expect from Gerald, so GG. GG will play. Just a bit of an unfortunate game there. And with that, Rogue will claim the series. Will advance on into the next round, and we're going to be following him. We're going to be following him into that next round. Here we go! Exclamation mark! Be in the chat if you guys want to have a look back yourselves.